there still is the possibility that we'll be getting Travis Scott's new album, Utopia, this Friday, June 23rd, in 2 days. I don't see it happening as much as a couple of y'all are, but today I wanted to dive into a theory that a viewer sent to me and take a look at this. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and details everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So take today's video with a big grain of salt, because this is just a theory. This is just someone who kind of saw a couple of things, took that evidence, put it together, and has an idea that might be related to this album. Let me say up front, I don't think that this will actually be true, but I still thought it was interesting and worthy to give to y'all and to maybe give y'all some stuff to hold you over until the actual release of this album, because I always see it as we're all the fan community, we're all in this together, and it's kind of fun to make theories and expectations, hopes, come up with that stuff together, and a lot of times, a lot of the stuff actually is true. We've seen that happen in the past so many times, but as I said, usually the Utopia videos are always evidence-based, and the next ones will always be like that, but today it's just a fun little theory for the side. So let's take a look at the email that this viewer sent to me. He wanted to be kept anonymous, so we'll go through this together. He said, "Hey Ben, big fan of your videos, and I've been lately keeping up with them about the Utopia hype. Appreciate that, brother." He says, "I have some new information and a theory that make a lot of sense, so I'll try to keep it as short and simple." And then he presents the first piece of evidence, and we actually went over this in the last video I dropped on Utopia, but it's in the evidence for this theory, so let's just take a look at it real quick. He said the first piece of news updates is in Mike Dean's tweet saying he's finishing Utopia and it will drop when it's ready. Went over that, as I said, where he's replying to this fan who said, "How's Mike?" And he says, "Thank you, I'm on tour finishing Utopia and doing another weekend album." And then also another tweet that he's since deleted that I didn't show in the last video, so this is actually pretty interesting. He says, "The album will drop when it's ready. Do you not want the best?" And to me, that's kind of just another doubling down on, like, you know, just take it when it comes. That to me, though, seems like it's not going to be June 23rd, because he's saying it'll drop when it drops. So probably won't be the next Friday. But that's what he said on Twitter. And then he goes into the actually interesting stuff, and this is connected to the spotting of Travis with the Utopia case on Abbey Road that I went over in my video 2 days ago, the last one on Utopia. And he says, "Now my theory on the Utopia release date comes from Travis in London recreating the iconic Beatles Abbey Road album cover, as I went over in the last video." He said, "After messing around on Google trying to connect anything with the Beatles to Travis to possible dates, I found out that National Beatles Day is on June 25th. This is important because we all know the album is dropping somewhere between now and before the 30th when he tours, and Uzi is going to drop on the 23rd like you already covered." Very true. And he then says, "I think the 25th is perfect for Travis to drop because before the 30th and after the 23rd when Uzi drops, and that Travis recreates the Beatles cover with the Utopia case could very well be connected to Utopia dropping on National Beatles Day." And together with it, he sent this image of the National Beatles Day, how that is actually June 25th. So he is right in that regard. And it is true, Travis was seen on Abbey Road recreating the very famous, very legendary Beatles album cover for Abbey Road, as I went over in the last video. Now I want to add one more thing he sent to me before I give my own 2 thoughts on this. He said, "Edit, gotta make this quick, but I just found this out. You made a video about how 3 weeks after Mike Dean got the Astroworld hard drive, it dropped. Well, Mike Dean posted on Instagram of him opening the Utopia case on June 4th, like we also already covered. But then he says to that, 3 weeks after June 4th is Sunday, June 25th. It all adds up." So he kind of took this evidence of the picture of Mike Dean opening the case already from June 4th. He took that with it up to now and calculated if it's going to be 21 days, it's 3 weeks, it's the 25th then. I don't think that the hard drive, when he got it for Astroworld, was exactly 3 weeks later. I think that was just an estimate. So I don't quite see that as strong as evidence, but I still think it helps support him in his theory in this case. Now, the reason that I don't think that this will actually happen, even though it is kind of nice research and kind of a very ingenious way to go about this, but the reason I don't think that this is going to happen is because the reason Travis wasn't going to be dropping before the 30th, so not the 23rd, because that's in 2 days, and that would have been the perfect time for him to drop, because Uzi is now confirmed to be dropping the 30th, and he's not dropping the same day as Uzi because he even has a feature on the Uzi album, so I don't think he's going to sacrifice that for his own, first week commercial sales performance. And we got those Billboard rules that we went over a million times. They start taking effect on June 30th. So from June 30th onward, you can sell more first week by including so-called fan packs and selling your album together with merch again, the same way that Travis already finessed Nicki Minaj back in 2018 when Astroworld was #1 and Queen didn't. And Travis definitely wants high first week sales and that #1, so no way he's going to be dropping before the 30th for that or on the same day as Uzi, even though he would outsell Uzi, but still, why take that chance? And so I think it's definitely going to be a Friday because he wants the full Billboard collecting week and get a #1 and get a bunch of first week sales, but it's going to be after the 30th because that's when Uzi drops. That's why I still think the 7th, July 7th, and it becomes more and more clear to me the closer we get to that date and the less and less we get now towards the 23rd, because we don't got a single, we don't got a trailer, we don't got an announcement, we don't got any new hints so far ever since the Abbey Road thing and the gold BlackBerry leak in the commercial he did with McEnroy, so for the Nike Attack shoe. So that's why I think July 7th is going to be the date that Utopia drops. Nonetheless, though, very interesting way to go down, a very interesting way to make a theory about this, and definitely something to consider, I think, for the fans. And obviously it has something to do with the Beatles, though. That's what I want to stress real quick, though, and highlight that again. The fact that he's recreating the Abbey Road cover and then later on seen in the studios with Mike Dean at the Abbey Road studios that are also very legendary for the Beatles, there's definitely some connection to the Beatles. I don't think he just randomly traveled to Abbey Road. Like, I know he's in Europe right now and he's like doing a bunch of festivals coming up in Sweden, Stockholm, stuff like that, but I don't think there's any coincidence in this. Why else would he do this? And that we have the 25th as the global Beatles Day coming up. Maybe we'll get something that day. That day in 4 days, the 25th, maybe also the 23rd. Maybe we'll get a single on the 23rd now and the album then on the 7th, so 2 weeks later. That could actually make sense and something I think will happen on Beatles Day, because why else recreate this? But for now, I'm going to state my theory. We get a single or some sort of announcement, trailer, whatever, on the 23rd, and then 2 weeks later, July 7th, Utopia will drop, or Utopia, we still don't know. But always make sure to stay subscribed, because I'm going to keep y'all updated. I'm going to keep y'all covered on all the latest Travis Scott news and what we learn about Utopia, as always. So definitely make sure to stay subscribed, because we're in for a very, very interesting couple of next weeks, especially the next 2 weeks until Uzi drop and until Travis drop are going to be insane. So let me know what you think about this, though. Let me know what you think about this theory. Do you think it is useless? Do you still kind of see the value in it, just to kind of, go down a route or go down a path where someone maybe has some sort of individual evidence here and then connects it to something else? Definitely appreciate your effort, bro. You wanted to stay anonymous, so I'm not going to name you, but definitely appreciate you reaching out to me, sending me that email with that theory. Definitely deserved a video. Let me know what you thought about this and all your opinions and your theories about this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.